Happy Friday, beautiful people. Happy Friday. It is July the 21st, 2023, day 80 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1460. Today we're going to read some more of these little parables, this time told by Miriam, the Lord's lady. And yeah, we're just gonna go for as long as we can today, reading through some of these. It's like I said, this chapter is pretty long too. We're in chapter 30, which began on page 500, but we are on page 501 today. And the Holy Megillah, also called the Secret Nazarite Scroll. So with that being said, beautiful people, let's go ahead and get started. Hold on. Father, we thank you for friends who speak the truth to you, no matter how hard the truth may be to hear. Yeah, that's a true friend indeed. All right, beautiful people. Zachary, Yahoo creator, only. Shalom, fam. Tabitha, top of the day, your family. Avia, hey, girl. Hey. Greetings, my beloved family, love, and light. Grand Rising beloveds in the great spirit, Tabitha said again. And everybody else here. It's only a few of y'all hanging out in the background so far. But anyway, happy Friday. All right, y'all, let's get started. Okay. I knew something was missing. My background music. Hold on. Put on my flute meditation music. I'm like, something missing while I was writing. There we go. They pop up new ones every day. I like them all. They all good. Let's do this one. Flute brain. That's like 10 hours long. I like them because you can listen to them at night. They make them for like 5, 10, 15, 20 hours. I don't know who's going to sleep for 20 hours, but y'all get the point. They just making it long enough just in case you need a plan or repeat or something. All right, y'all. So the first story today is the fable of the greedy lion. It's at the bottom of page 501, starting with verse 52. Miriam said, "There once was a greedy lion. The lion thought that he was very tricky, but his trickiness backfired. Behold, the lion tricked a fox, a wolf, and a jackal, all carnivores like himself, into hunting a zebra with him. He said, 'The zebra is large, but together we can bring him down. Then, as the king of beasts, I will divide the meat into 4 equal portions.' The other carnivores agreed, and with the lion, easily brought down the large zebra. When it came time to divide the meat, the lion divided into 4 equal portions. He said, 'The first portion goes to me in recognition that I am the king of the beasts. The second the second portion goes to me as payment for being the divider of the portions. The third portion goes to me for the role I played in the hunt. And the fourth equal portion goes to me because none of you are able to prevent me from taking it.' As the other 3 carnivores watched with jealous eyes, the lion ate all 4 equal parts of zebra meat. But the lion paid a big price for his cunning greediness. For lo, the zebra had a disease." The zebra had a disease. Because the lion had eaten so much of the diseased meat, he became sick for many months. Thus it is truly said, the greedy will get their just reward. Oh, that's a good little parable. Elijah, peace and blessings. All right, y'all, the next one. The fable of the birds and the hemp seeds. Look, I got me some hemp seeds that I've tried them before, like in my smoothie. But yesterday was the first time I actually decided to just eat them just to see how they taste. I mean, because I've never really done. I just took them. Oh, that's good. Just take them, put them in my smoothie while I blend it up, right? But I taste them like, oh, these actually have like a really good taste. They were like, it's like a nutty, buttery taste to them. They were really good. I had a couple spoonfuls of them. Look, 2 spoonfuls is like 10 grams of protein. So if y'all do that, be mindful of all those things. But I figure it's cool because I'm lifting weights again, so I need protein to help my protein helps your muscles rebuild faster or whatever. But we ain't gonna get into all the nutritional stuff. Sony Shalom says shalom, shalom. I just said all that to say they taste pretty good. Okay, the fable of the birds and the hemp seeds, page 502, verse 68. Miriam said, a wise old bird sat in a tree between two fields. Lo, each field was freshly planted with hemp seed, a seed that birds love to eat. I can see why. Yesterday, I can really see why. One of the fields was planted by a farmer who used hemp to make bird nets. The other field was planted by a farmer who grew hemp for food. Yea, besides the hemp food that okay. Yea, besides the hemp food that this farmer grew for humans, he always saved some of the harvest seeds to throw out to the birds in the cold of winter. The wise bird, having observed the diverse occupations of the two farmers, called out to the birds of his flock. He said, behold, you are eating the seed planted by the good you are eating the seed planted by the food maker, ruining his crop, even as you ignore the seed planted by the maker of bird nets. Eat the seed that the net maker Eat the seed of the net maker so that you shall not be ensnared. Alas, the flock ignored the warning of the old bird. A young bird mocked him, saying, you just want the field to yourself. Are you a flying pig or a bird? The mockery did not hurt the wise old bird, but he was saddened by what he saw later that year. He saw many of the birds of his flock captured in the nets made by the net maker, and in the cold of winter, the food maker had no seed to throw to the hungry birds. The old bird said to a couple of wise friends, thus I say, do not ignore the seeds of evil. Uproot them before they scatter and spread and ensnare you. That was good. The next little parable, the fable of the mouse and the grasshopper. Miriam said, on a beautiful fall day, a busy mouse carried bits of grain one by one to store away for winter. Noticing the mouse worked so hard, a grasshopper said, you are crazy to work so hard on a sunny day. You should be like me and simply laze the day away. The mouse replied, I am putting grain away now so that my family will have food in the cold of winter. I advise you to take some of this bountiful harvest and set it aside for winter. The grasshopper laughed at the advice, then said, I will gorge myself now and think not about the winter. Behold, that winter the mouse and his family survived to see another spring. The grasshopper did not. Thus I say, those who live happily in the present are not neglectful of the future. Thus I say, those who live happily in the present are not neglectful of the future. That's good. That's like working, giving it your all in your early days while you have all your strength. So that way, when you get older and you're not able to work as much, and as your strength depletes, if it depletes, some people keep their full strength. But at least you won't have to work as hard. And hopefully, by that time, instead of using your physical strength to work, you can begin using this to work and allow that to bring you a lot of dividends and profits, right? The fable of the two horses and a hunter. Miriam said two wild horses had an argument over grazing rights in a small meadow. The meaner of the two was not big enough to force its opinion on the other, so it hatched a plan. The mean horse went to the horse seller and said, behold, I offer you a deal. I will take you to a horse that you can catch and sell at the auction. The man replied, what do you get out of the bargain? The horse replied, once you take away the other horse, I will have the meadow to myself. That way, I will have more food. The horse seller said, to catch that horse, I must ride you. Here, the horse seller said, to catch that horse, I must ride you. Here, let me put this bit of metal in your mouth and a saddle on your back so that I can ride you to accomplish our plan." The wild horse, who had never before been ridden, agreed. When they came to the meadow where the two horses had argued over grazing rights, behold, the other horse was gone, but it had left a note. The note said, "I'm sorry that we argued. I'm letting you have this meadow as you desired. I will go find another meadow to graze." Reading the note, the mean horse said to the man, "Okay, now take the bit out of my mouth. Get off my back and take the saddle and get off me." The man replied, "No, now that I control you, I will profit by selling you at market. Lo, even if I had caught the other horse, I would have kept you as well." Whew. An owl sitting in a nearby tree said, "He who would bargain to trap another will find himself trapped." A nearby frog added the following observation: "If you bargain with the unjust, expect no justice." That was good. Dug a hole for the other horse and fell in it himself. The fable of the rabbit and the turtle. So remember, yesterday we learned about why they do parables and fables with animals, right? They said humans sometimes they're a bit too much and they won't receive the stories if you tell them directly what they need to hear. So you got to kind of trick the mind a little bit so they'll listen. Everybody loves a good story. And you keep them listening a little longer if you change out the people and put animals, right? Who doesn't love a good Aesop fable? But you still able to get that truth and set it right deep down in a sha-na-na. Let it marinate. The fable of the rabbit and the turtle. One of the three young women who studied with Nabia was slow but steady at her daily chores and spiritual assignments. Another was very fast but easily lost interest before the task was completed. The young woman who was a fast study seemed to be doing much better in her spiritual assignments than the slow student. However, the student who was fast, having become interested in something else, left Nibia's tutelage before receiving the wand of prophetess. That wand was given to each student who graduates from Nibia's School of Prophecy. At the time of graduation, the two remaining students, the slow but steady one, and Miriam, who was both fast and steady, received their wands. The slow but steady student said to Miriam, "It is amazing that I am receiving the wand and that our brilliant and fast friend is not." Miriam replied, "That proves the truth of the following fable of Gigala. A group of animals were having a party. One of them, a rabbit, began to brag that he was the fastest of the bunch. He challenged the other animals to race him. Only one animal, a slow but steady turtle, accepted the challenge. The rabbit laughed and said, "You must be joking. How can a slow turtle expect to win a race against a fast rabbit?" We all know this story. The turtle replied, "I do not claim I will win, but I am ready for the challenge. I believe I can win, but as long as I give my best effort, I will be content with the outcome." And so the race was held. It was agreed that the distance would be to the yonder mountain. As expected, the rabbit raced ahead of the turtle and built a huge lead. Hello, son. Oh, you ran with your dad?
Is she going to work today?
Uh, he might be. TT already left, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
I came around
Mm.
6:15, and they said 6:30.
You get the message just like everybody else. Then your dad sent it out. The turtle replied, "I do not claim I will win, but I am ready for the challenge. I believe I can win, but as long as I give my best effort, I will be content with the outcome." And so the race was held. It was agreed that the distance would be to the yonder mountain. As expected, the rabbit raced ahead of the turtle and built a huge lead. Seeing he had a big lead, the rabbit decided to investigate a green metal on the side of the trail. He said to himself, I bet this meadow has sweet grass. I will eat some grass and still have a big lead. But after stuffing himself on grass, the rabbit was sleepy. He said, I will take a short nap and will still have a big lead when I wake up. But the rabbit slept much longer than he had expected. Meanwhile, the slow but steady turtle passed the sleeping rabbit. By the time the rabbit woke up, the turtle was crossing the finish line. An owl watching a race from a tree. It's always this owl off off up in a cut hanging out at the tree. An owl watching the race from a tree remarked, steady perseverance is not flashy, but leads to many victories in life. That was good. The next parable. Grace and righteous. Shalom. Kings and Queens Coaching Group. Shalom, shalom. BC. What's going on? Brandon Carter. Nazarene is saying Grand Rising family. Peace, love, and light. And everybody else that came here hanging out in the background. Happy Friday. The fable of the arms, the legs, and the belly. Miriam said, the two legs and two arms of a man held a meeting to discuss their mutual complaint about the belly. I'm like this story already. One leg say, we legs do all the work, walking to go fetch food, while the belly sits and does nothing. Then lo, the belly gets food, and we legs get nothing. An arm replied, we arms work hard harvesting food, but the belly does nothing. And then lo, the belly gets all the food, and we arms get nothing. The arms and legs agreed, we will do no work until the belly shows us that it too can work. For many days, the legs walked nowhere. For many days, the arms did nothing, not even lift food to the mouth. Look like it's a good fast for the belly, huh? But then the legs noticed they were getting weak. The arms likewise noticed they were becoming malnourished. It was then that they realized that all along the belly had indeed been performing the important work of digestion. The head, who patiently waited for the arms and legs to realize their folly, remarked, each part of the body performs an important task. Likewise, the members of a community each have a task, and no task Likewise, the members of a community each have a task, and no task is without worth. That was good. All right. The fable of the skinny wolf and the fat dog. Miriam said, a skinny wolf met a fat dog on the road. Noticing the wolf looked a bit underfed, the house dog said, dear cousin, were it not for my better breeding, I might be like you, be underfed. After all, dogs were once wild like you, but now we have it much better. Now in exchange for performing the work of our master, we are fed a good meal every day. The wolf, seeing the fat on the dog and thinking how nice it would be to be given a meal every day, said, alas, nobody will offer such a cozy position to a wolf. The dog replied, I have a good master. I believe he will give you a position like mine. We can work side by side for him each day, and together we will enjoy our evening meals. The wolf was about to agree, but noticing the collar around the dog's neck, said, what is that? The dog replied, this is just the collar to which my master attaches his chain. You will have one just like it. The wolf replied, I will turn down your offer, cousin. Better to be skinny and free than a well-fed slave. I was not expecting that. That is good. Better to be skinny and free than a well-fed slave. Wow. The fable. Why do you keep using mice? Ugh. The fable of mice and armies. A woman was sad because her son had been rounded up and forced to join the army of a local warlord. She asked Miriam, why are young men forced into the army of rich men? Miriam replied, I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, The mice that lived in a neighborhood held a meeting to discuss a mutual problem. The problem involved a cat that lived in a neighborhood and enjoyed eating mice. The mouse made a proposal that at the first one mouse made a proposal that at first sounded like a great idea. That mouse proposed that a bell and ribbon be found. The bell would be attached to the ribbon and then placed around the neck of the cat. I remember this. That way, the mice would hear the bell ring whenever the cat approached. With that advance warning, the mice could escape. The proposal was met by applause from the assembled mice. But then one old mouse, known for his wisdom, asked, "Who will place the ribbon around the neck of the cat?" The assembled mice were silent. There were no volunteers. Then the old mouse spoke again, saying, "Now you know why humans have armies. That way," wow. I was not expecting that. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me read this whole thing again. A woman was sad because her son had been rounded up and forced to join the army of a local warlord. She asked Miriam, "Why are young men forced into the army of rich men?" Miriam replied, "I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, the mice that lived in a neighborhood held a meeting to discuss a mutual problem. The problem involved a cat that lived in a neighborhood and enjoyed eating mice. One mouse made a proposal that at first sounded like a great idea. The mouse proposed that a bell and ribbon be found. The bell would be attached to the ribbon and then placed around the neck of the cat. That way, the mice would hear the bell ring whenever the cat approached. With that advance warning, the mice could escape. The proposal was met by applause from the assembled mice. But then one old mouse, known for his wisdom, asked, "Who will place the ribbon around the neck of the cat?" The assembled mice were silent. There were no volunteers. Then the old mouse spoke again, saying, "Now you know why humans have armies. That way they force the poor to do their dirty work." I'm trying to make wait, I'm trying to make sense of this story. Okay. Poor people, dirty work, cat, mouse, ribbon assembly. Who can put it up there? Maybe I'm just a little bit slow. Why are young men forced into the army of rich men? That way they force the poor to do their dirty work. Now you know why humans have armies. That way they force the poor to do their dirty. I'm not getting a correlation. Somebody help me out. Tone the lowly one. New light, love, and peace to all. I don't know. Read it again. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. I'm not really getting a yeah. I'm not really seeing how that okay, listen. The fable of mice and armies. A woman was sad because her son had been rounded up and forced to join the army of a local warlord. She asked Miriam, "Why are young men forced into the army of rich men?" Miriam replied, "I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, the mouse that lived in a neighborhood held a meeting to discuss a mutual problem. The problem involved a cat that lived in a neighborhood and enjoyed eating mice. One mouse made a proposal that at first sounded like a great idea. That mouse proposed that a bell and a ribbon be found. The bell would be attached to the ribbon and then placed around the neck of the cat. That way, the mice would hear the bell ring whenever the cat approached. With that advance warning, the mice could escape. The proposal was met by applause from the assembled mice, but then one old mouse, known for his wisdom, asked, "Who will place the ribbon around the neck of the cat?" The assembled mice were silent. There were no volunteers. And then the old mouse again spoke, saying, "Now you know why humans have armies. That way they force the poor to do their dirty work." Anybody seeing that correlation? Jamia, hey girl, hey. The poor don't have much to lose, so send them into war. I mean, I get that. I don't know. I get well. Okay, so I'm thinking now. I'm thinking modern day army where nobody really forces us to join, right? We maybe I'm looking at it from the wrong perspective. Based on my experience, nobody forced me to join the military. I chose to join. I'm just. Then the old mouse again spoke, saying, "Now you know why humans have armies. That way they force the poor to do their dirty work." So I guess maybe more selective service. I don't know. I don't know. No one would stand up. Sound of fear. All wars caused by rich who want others rich who want others rich. All wars caused by the rich who wants others rich possessions. I get that. Rich men government will not do the things they force others, the poor, to do. I mean, I guess I can kind of agree on that as well. Um, I, I still don't think I'm getting it, y'all. I don't know. I'm looking at the different parts of the story. Okay, we got to put the bell around the cat neck. Who's gonna get to put the bell around the cat neck? Um, okay, so you gonna? I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess. Okay. Okay, so say the government didn't want to do it, they don't want to die, so they send other people to die. I don't know. I guess I'm mixing up times. Like I said, people willingly joining, and then back in the day they were forced to join selective service. All of that. Uh, I don't know. That yeah okay. That way they force the poor to do their dirty work. I don't know. Like I said, I guess I'm mixing up different times on people now who can just choose freely to join. They're not being forced, but they some of them are kind of wooed with the full benefits, base housing if you have children, extra pay going overseas. I mean uh I mean I guess. Let me see. BC. I'm like you. I'm like they still they still force today like through selective service. I haven't really like looked in that. I mean, I guess they can kind of force you while you're in once you take that oath. I mean, they don't force you like push you around, but they tell you. I mean, they kind of do force you like mentally get inside your head, and not just in your head because if you disobey, you find yourself in a brig or something. Okay. I mean, I see. All right. The question she asked was, why are people forced to fight wars? You're right, Jamia. Okay. She asked, okay, a woman was sad because her son had been rounded up and forced to join the army of the local warlord. She asked Miriam, why are young men forced into the army of rich men? Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, okay. Okay, wow. Okay, okay. So I think I was looking at it wrong. They're forced because ain't nobody really gonna volunteer to go to war, but so they're gonna force them. Okay, all right. A woman was said. Let me just read the whole story again. Hold on. Question. Hold on. Mom, shalom, shalom. Drafting. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Drafting. Somebody got to do it. The draft of Vietnam War. Many of us are forced because of our desires. The promises of the rich cause the poor to have false hope. That is good, just me. The rich start wars while demanding the poor to fight. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, all of that is true. Think of other countries, not just the US. Oh, right. It's still happening. You're right. I was about to do this. I was about to say, we're given the illusion that we have more freedom. Ah, sometimes I think that's true, and sometimes I think it's still some foolery and trickery around in there because of the promises that are made to different people. Yeah, they trick people into doing stuff. I don't know. Yeah. And nobody in their right mind is just going to, yeah, I'm going to war, unless they had like a true reason other than the government asking them. Like if they had to save a family member or something, then they would voluntarily go to war. But yeah, like, this ain't my war. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay, I get it. Okay, let me read the fable one more time. The fable of mice and armies. Shayla, hey cousin. I'm guessing I'm guessing an army is necessary to accomplish the goal of putting a bell on the cat and oh, right? Okay, yeah. I'm guessing an army is necessary to accomplish the goal of putting a bell on the cat and sacrificing soldiers. But what did the but what did the old mouse but what does the old mouse have to do with it? He was just like the owl that's sitting perched off up in the tree somewhere. He observing. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Who can put the bell around the cat neck? And everybody's like, we didn't think about that. I can see the government doing that. Yeah, we're gonna go over here and take over this country. Well, what about the opposing army over there that ain't just gonna let us walk in? We got a problem. All right, well, we'll send some in. Well, like we thought of this wonderful plan, but we ain't gonna go in there. Let's find some people. Right now, it's like come in, you have your college paid for, the GI Bill, and then they give you the extension on the GI Bill, of which I used up all of it. The regular one and the extension. I used all of that. I'm a forever school student. I'm still in school now. Look, time passes. Look, I'm getting sidetracked. Time passes so fast. I got 5 classes left, y'all. I love ECPI. 5 classes left before I get my MBA. Okay. But yeah, most people sitting behind the desk, the pencil warriors and stuff, and yeah, they ain't going out there themselves. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I get it. Not just government started wars either. True. Okay. Let's see. We'll read it one more time. Then we just gonna past this story. The fable of mice and armies. A woman was sad because her son had been rounded up and forced to join the army of a local warlord. She asked Miriam, "Why are young men forced into the army of rich men?" Okay. I think the more I read this, the more I get it. I think I get what y'all saying. Right. Okay. Because they too rich and pretty. They ain't trying to get dirty. She asked Miriam, "Why are young men forced into the army of rich men?" Miriam replied, "I will tell you a story. Once upon a time, the mouse that lived in the neighborhood held a meeting to discuss a mutual problem. The problem involved the cat that lived in the neighborhood and enjoyed eating mice. One mouse made a proposal that at first sounded like a great idea. The mouse proposed that a bell and ribbon be found. The bell would be attached to the ribbon and then placed around the neck of the cat. That way, the mice would hear the bell ring whenever the cat approached. With that advance warning, the mice could escape. The proposal was met by applause from the assembled mice. But then one old mouse, known for his wisdom, asked, "Who will place the ribbon around the neck of the cat?" The assembled mice were silent. There were no volunteers. I think that's one of the keys, Sue. There were no volunteers, which is why they are forced. The assembled mice were silent. There were no volunteers. Then the old mouse again spoke, saying, "Now you know why humans have armies. That way they force the poor to do their dirty work." Okay. The fable of the tree cutter and the tree. Miriam said, "A tree cutter once desired to cut a beautiful tree, but had broken the handle of his axe. He approached the tree and asked, 'Will you give me a branch of your best wood?' The tree dropped the branch for the man. The man used the branch to make a new axe handle. Then lo, he used the axe to cut down the grandfather tree. Wherefore it is truly said, 'Do not help your enemy destroy you.'" That's a good one. Okay. The fable of the donkey and the wagon. I missed some comments. Remember, whoever has an army has a low grade. Oh yeah, that's true. Thinking about OWASP. Right, right, right. Because you army, war, taking away life of another, right? Yeah. Or who are Mazda the false. The people who don't truly want war, the people who don't truly want the war will not stand up. None of them wanted to put the bill on the cat. They are afraid to stand up. Also, the cat is greedy and ruthless. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a good way to put that. We could get philosophical and talk about this cat. Is this cat the beast system? Is it the government? Right? Is it an opposing army warlord? But yeah, I get that. But what's crazy is I know that there are people. I think because of the amount of, I guess you can say, wickedness, the unjustness, the the unfair fighting amongst one another, were those who are truly righteous that are in place, even if they did stand, the cat is a woman. Even if they did stand up, even if they did stand up, it's not enough people who are righteous that are actually in place to back them. So some of them, they just back down, right? And they don't stand up. They never say anything because, like, why? They're not going to support us. They're hell bent on doing what it is they want to do, And it's, I get it. I get it. The cat is greedy and ruthless. Sony said the cat is the woman. And sometimes the cat is the woman. Sometimes some of the women can be whew, she's a man eater. Okay, the fable of the donkey and the wagon. Miriam said, a donkey discovered a gold mine. He loaded a wagon with gold. The wagon was so full that the donkey could barely pull it. Lo, the wheel of the wagon got stuck in a rather shallow hole, and rather than try and push the wagon, the donkey prayed to the Lord to free the wagon. After all, the donkey thought, Scripture instructs us to rely on the Lord for all things. I think I know where this is going. Let me start over. I immediately saw the church. Miriam said, this is the fable of the donkey and the wagon, one page 505, verse 194. Miriam said, a donkey discovered a gold mine. He loaded a wagon with gold. The wagon was so full that the donkey could barely pull it. Lo, the wheel of the wagon got stuck in a rather shallow hole. Rather than try and push the wagon, the donkey prayed to the Lord to free the wagon. After all, the donkey thought, Scripture instructs us to rely on the Lord for all things. Yea, when we experience a hardship, does not Scripture teach us that we should take it to the Lord in prayer? And are we not taught to rely on the strength of the Lord rather than our own strength? Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Thank you, Donut Man. Y'all know who the Donut Man is? Early in life, while we're still going to church. That matter of fact, the Donut Man's tapes are still the tapes. They're actually, you get them on CD now, whatever. If you can even download them MP3. They didn't upgrade it, right? But anyway, the Donut Man was the first tool that we use like all the time to literally remember scriptures. It's for children, called the Donut Man. They would literally make songs and put tunes to pretty much all the scriptures and some of the more famous ones. That's my early days of training of memorizing scripture. Never forget it. All of them I still know. I can pop off some of the scriptures like that, right? Simply because of the Donut Man. Thank you, Donut Man. Okay. Let me go back. Let me just start over. Miriam said a donkey discovered a gold mine. They probably should have put Christian there. A donkey discovered a gold mine. He loaded the wagon with gold. The wagon was so full that the donkey could barely pull it. Lo, the wheel of the wagon got stuck in a rather shallow hole, and rather than try and push the wagon, the donkey prayed to the Lord to free the wagon. After all, the donkey thought, Scripture instructs us to rely on the Lord for all things. Yea, when we experience a hardship, does not Scripture teach that we should take it to the Lord in prayer? And are we not taught to rely on the strength of the Lord rather than our own strength? Feeling rather holy and also feeling very unwilling to push the wagon himself, the donkey prayed to the Lord. He prayed, Lord, come push this wagon, for the wheel is stuck in a hole. Behold, the Lord appeared unto the donkey, but the Lord did not push the wagon. Rather, seeing the shallow hole and realizing that the donkey had not even tried, the Lord said, Put your shoulder to the wagon and try pushing. Know this, the Lord helps those who help themselves. Even more so, the Lord helps those who helps others. That was good. But people steady crying out, Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus sitting there like on the passenger side, like, yo, homie. No, you go ahead, put your foot on the brake, steer appropriately. Matter of fact, you probably need to go back to you probably need to retake your driver's test. Because apparently you missed it. I ain't gonna show up to drive for you. But y'all steady calling me to come take the wheel. The fable of fair weathered friends. Oh yeah, we got a few more minutes. A woman came to Miriam in tears. Behold, the woman had been abandoned by her many friends at the time of a personal crisis. She said to Miriam, I know that you are a stranger to me, but my friends will not help. Miriam told her the following story. She said, Once there was a rabbit that lived in a hole in the ground near a farm. She had 4 good friends on the farm, a horse, a bull, a goat, and a calf. Yea, nearly every day she visited her friends and had great conversations, but she also had one enemy on the farm, a dog. Sometimes the dog chased her, but because she was a fast runner, she always escaped to her hole in the ground. But one day the rabbit injured her leg and could barely walk. She saw that the farm dog was coming, but was still far away. She knew that she would need to escape to her hole, but with her injured leg, she could not run fast enough. So she asked her friends to help. First, she asked the horse, saying, Will you help me escape the dog? 5 minutes left. Thank you. So she asked her friends for help. She first asked the horse, saying, Will you help me escape the dog by giving me a ride to my hole? The horse declined to help. He said, I went for a long run this morning and I'm a bit tired, but I am certain one of your other friends will help. Next, the rabbit asked the bull for a ride. He replied, You might injure yourself on my horns if I let you on my back. Go ask your friend the goat. I'm sure he will help you. But the goat also declined to help, saying, I'd better not get involved. After all, dogs are capable of harming goats. If I help, he might seek revenge. And so, with the dog getting closer, the rabbit asked her last friend, the calf, for help. The calf replied, I have seen that all of our older and wiser friends have declined to get involved. Being the youngest, I will follow their example. I too must decline. Just then, a total stranger, a little girl who was visiting the farm, picked up the rabbit and saved her from the dog. An owl, of course, this old wise owl. Of course, he's sitting in the back. How you always sitting in the background? He remind me of dudes that women that always give you gossip from the streets. Look, so let me tell you what happened. I was down there, like Bobby. How's you always down there when everything going down? I don't know. I just be down there. Just then, a total stranger, a little girl who was visiting the farm, picked up the rabbit and saved her from the dog. An owl, observing all of this from a tree, said, Better the company of a stranger than that of fair weathered friends. Wow. The woman who had come to Miriam for help laughed at the story. The woman said, I agree with the owl. then Miriam, though the then Miriam, though a stranger to the woman, helped her through her crisis. That's good. Okay. Three teaching stories of Miriam. Let me say this before I start this. Let me not start it. I want to keep these stories together based on the title and what my eyes just caught. Okay, so we're gonna stop right here, y'all. We'll read this tomorrow. Story 1, you can't please everyone, so follow your inner calling. Story 2 is the story of two seekers, and story 3 is the true spirit of tithing. Yeah, we're gonna keep this together tomorrow. For tomorrow. All right, y'all, that's it. I only got like 3 minutes left anyway, so it's best that I stop here. 6. All right, beautiful people. Today is Friday, July the 21st, 2023, day 80 of year 5. We're reading through books, laws, and prophets of the 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1460. We read pages 501 to 506 in the Secret Nazarite Scroll, officially called the Holy Megillah. And we're still in the third section of this book entitled The Holy God Spell. And this was chapter 30 that we are still reading. Like I said, chapter 30 is pretty long, just like chapter 28. So we're going to be here for a little while. All right, y'all. With that being said, listen. I said earlier, I said, Father, thank you for friends who speak the truth. But let me just go ahead and add this in here. Also, Father, thank you for friends that keep their ears to the streets. Based on what we read today, talking about the wise old owl, right? People who are willing to observe the situation and see it for what it truly is, right? And the owl sits at a higher vantage point, right? So a lot of times when we're right in the midst of things, we can't really see because we're right in the thick of it, and we can't see the forest for the tree that's in front of our face. So all we can see is the tree here, the tree here, the tree here, and the tree here, right? You don't realize you're in the forest. You can't see the forest for the trees in your face. So thank you for those who have a higher vantage point that can help lift us up out of our struggles. All right, beautiful people. That's it for today. Tigva, hey girl, hey family. Creator is undefeated. Peace, love, light. Yes, girl. Just me. Let's look at today's news. Many Russian soldiers are being forced to war to take land for Putin while he sit back and watches. Yeah, I didn't see that when we were still reading that, but true. Yeah, Jamil had brought that up. I was strictly looking at it from the Western standpoint, not even considering the other countries of people who are actually still made to join the rich man's army. So that was my lack of observation there. So, but thank y'all for y'all input for that. So I definitely understand that story just a little bit more. Forget putting the bell on that cat. The mouse and them should move out from that area. Right? They could have did that. They didn't consider do that. The recycle bin. No, he gonna move that before he go. He in the room. Yeah, he is on the bed in pain. I thought he was outside. I came in there. He lay across the bed. I told him he needed to go. He needed to find a emergency dentist. Elijah, my oldest son, came over here. He need to get his wisdom teeth pulled. He in pain. I'm like, boy, you better go call somebody. Go show up at somebody though. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thank y'all for hanging out. Sabbath, the new Sabbath rotating. It's Tuesdays. So for those that forgot, don't care, whatever, it's Tuesday. So our new day, this was the cycle where it skipped a day because the last moon cycle, it was Monday. This moon cycle, it skipped the Monday. Now it's on the Tuesday. Y'all ever seen The Terminal with Tom Hanks and I think he's Indian, little Indian guy. I hate the Monday. No, I hate the Tuesday. He said, I hate the Tuesday.
You going home today?
Huh?
You going home today?
Do what?
That's fine. Banking issues. What you going today?
What do you need me to do? You have not authorized me on your accounts. Like I said, I can get general information for you. Hold on, let me end this. All right, beautiful people, that's it. Let me go. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bruce.
But I see through you!
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated now, making
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
Been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this material universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I don't need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I'm a fine line, yeah, I'm a mislead of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than pride and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.